Lovebirds. Today is September 11th, 2019. Hey Kinley, guess what today is?
Today is Hump Day! Ooh!
Yes, Kinley. Now please stand for our pledges and our moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. I don't know about y'all, but I sure am ready for lunch today. I forgot, what is for lunch today, McLaren?
Well, today for lunch we're having chili cheese hot dogs, pork and beans, french fries, carrots, bananas, or peaches.
That sounds delicious. Too bad I brought my lunch.
Remember, student council elections will take place Friday, September 13th.
Student council will be having a very important meeting on September 17th during tutorials on the resource side of the library. We will be discussing and organizing decorating for Hogwarts, so you need to be there. Don't forget to check the due date in the back of your library book and renew it or turn it in to prevent having to pay a fine. Remember, library fines are 10 cents a day, and they can add up quickly. Stop by the Library Media Center to take care of your business.
There is an FCA meeting this Friday at 7:30 in the mini gym. Make sure to go. You'll have a great time.
Spirit Week is next week. Monday is Maui Monday. Be sure to dress Hawaiian.
Tuesday is Twin Tuesday. Find a friend or a group of friends to twin with.
Wednesday is Wake Up Wednesday. Wear your PJs.
Thursday is Spirit Day. Be sure to be in your leopard spirit. We'll have our first pep rally home game that day.
Friday is Funky Hair Day. Wear your hair funky. Hey McLaren, what's going to be your favorite day of Spirit Week?
Mine is going to be Spirit Day. What's yours going to be, Kinley?
Mine would have to be Twin Day.
We've grown up with the story of what happened on September 11th, 2001, when an Islamic extremist group hijacked 4 planes and carried out attacks against targets in the United States. 2 of the planes were flown into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City. A 3rd plane hit the Pentagon just outside of Washington, D.C., and the 4th plane crashed in a field in Pennsylvania. Almost 3,000 people were killed during the attacks of 9/11.
Today is the day to remember the heroism of all those who helped on that day, and a day to remember who lost their lives. Let's take a moment to think back and remember this day 18 years ago.
But there is another part of the story people haven't heard. It is a story about how people here in America and around the world came together to help each other in the days immediately following the attacks.
We'd like to share a few stories of kindness with you today.
The attacks in New York and Washington caused the United States to shut down its airspace. This caused all of the planes heading to the United States to have to land somewhere else. A small Canadian town on an island took in nearly 6,700 people, almost doubling its population, as 38 planes were forced to land there. Their simple hospitality to their unexpected house guests drew worldwide attention as they fed and took care of the needs of all those people for up to 5 days.
Vince Kinsel, a Vietnam veteran, shared a story. He said, "I remember when I got to the doorway and I looked out. It was a jumbo jet, a jumbo jet, a jumbo jet. Wingtip to wingtip, scattered like toys as far as you could see." He was stranded in a small town in Newfoundland, Canada. Canada, in an effort to help to clear airspace, had opened their airport to U.S. flights after the plane struck the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. It was called Operation Yellow Ribbon. During Operation Yellow Ribbon, it was reported that Canada diverted more than 200 flights to about 17 different airports across the country.
While concerned, Kinsel said he never really felt afraid because strangers made him feel welcomed. We were dropped on a country unannounced in a city not equipped to handle surprises like this. He said, "This was a city of 3 little motels, and yet they went out of their way to welcome us, but to not only welcome us, but to treat us like royalty." Kinsel said the neighbors cooked for passengers and fed the thousands stranded at a brand new hockey arena that hadn't opened yet. The veteran spent several days in the small town before having to fly to Brussels, Belgium, where again he described people opening their arms and doors without question.
I can't imagine having to help that many people for that many days. Caitlin has a story to share with us about how everyday average Americans saw a need and immediately came to the rescue, even using their own personal fishing boats to help in what became known as the ferry boat rescue.
First, it is important to realize Manhattan, New York, where the World Trade Center was located, completely surrounded by water, subways, tunnels, bridges, and trains to help people get on and off the island. Lower Manhattan's daytime population totaled in the hundreds of thousands that morning, and transportation shutdown began within 1 minute after the first plane hit, restricting people's ability to freely get out of the city. City's state police worked together to put Manhattan on lockdown, halting buses, subways, and commuter rails, as well as closing roadways, bridges, and tunnels to prevent further attack. But sealing off the city also prevented people from leaving. Crews aboard ferries, fishing boats, and tour boats joined boats of all kinds to launch any unplanned evacuation in New York Harbor that delivered nearly 500,000 stranded people off Manhattan Island in less than 9 hours. New York Waterway Ferry Captain Rick Thornton recalls, "The second after a fireball exploded from the side of the South Tower, I just turned my boat around," he said. Instead of making his scheduled run, Thornton steered the ferry south. "I didn't call anybody on the radio. I didn't check with anyone on board to say, I'm going offline. My pure instinct was just to head downtown." He was joined by approximately 150 boats racing to meet the people gathering along the shoreline. They nosed their boats in towards the seawall and pulled into to rescue the hordes of scared, powdered, plastered people, gray ghosts. People sat 10 or more deep against the railings along the water's edge. Stranded people scrambling to climb, jump, or crawl across ladders to board any available boat.
Incredible. I can't imagine being one of those people, scared, not knowing what was going on, and just wanting to get off that island. Kaylee has another story of heroism and the kindness of a stranger from that day, someone who became known simply as the man with the red bandana.
Just a few minutes after United Airlines Flight 175 struck the South Tower of the World Trade Center, 24-year-old Wells Crowther called his mother from the 104th floor of the World Trade Center and calmly left a voicemail. "Mom, this is Wells. I want you to know that I'm okay." After that call, Crowther, who was a volunteer firefighter in his teens, made his way down to the 78th floor sky lobby and became a hero to strangers. Amid the smoke, chaos, and debris, Crowther helped injured and disoriented office workers to safety, risking his own life in the process. Though they couldn't see much through the haze, those he saved recalled a tall figure wearing a red bandana to shield his lungs and mouth. He had come known to the 78th floor sky lobby and began directing survivors to the stairway and encouraging them to help others. He carried an injured woman on his back. After bringing her 15 floors down to safety, he made his way back up to help others. Crowther is credited with saving at least a dozen people that day. His body was later recovered alongside firefighters in a stairwell heading back up to the tower with the Jaws of Life rescue toll.
These are only a few of the hundreds of stories of heroism and kindness shown to a stranger that we found from 9/11. and the days immediately following. Many times we remember 9/11 for the tragedy that happened. We at LMS News want to encourage you to also remember the goodness found within people from all walks of life. And we want to challenge you to honor the heroic acts of that day by finding ways to spread random acts of kindness to those you come in contact with today.
This can be as simple as a smile. A smile and a kind word go a long way.
So true, McLaren. Now send on to our sports.
Thank you, McLaren. The volleyball girls did great. All teams won in 2 sets. 7th grade B team won 25-15. 8th grade B team won 25-10. 7th grade A team won 25-9. And 8th grade A team won 25-5. Now back to you, Kinley and McLaren.
Thank you, McLaren. The highest 93 and the lowest 73. Now back to you, Kinley and McLaren.
Thank you, Kaylee. This week our quote is, "When I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around."
There's only one birthday today, and that is Braxton Jones.
Happy birthday, Braxton.
And always